Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the topic from Vishna's text, Chapter 3 Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi. It is a travelogue. In this chapter, the writer describes an account of her experience and also her journey to Antarctica. The entire story revolves around the same thought as the name suggests, a journey to the end of the earth. Here, I would like to share a few points about Antarctica. Antarctica is Earth's southernmost continent. It contains the geographic South Pole and situated in the Antarctic region of the southern hemisphere, almost the entire south of Antarctic Circle, and is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. Antarctica is the fifth largest continent and nearly twice the south of Australia. It is the least densely populated continent. About 98% of Antarctica is covered by ice. That average is 1.9 km in thickness, which extends to all but the northmost region of the Antarctic Peninsula. In this chapter, Tishani Doshi gives a detailed description of her stay in Antarctica that was for 2 weeks. The entire story is divided into 3 main parts. If you see the chapter, then you will find that in the beginning session, it is mentioned part of history. This is the first part. The second part describes human impact, and then comes the third part, that is walk on the ocean. So this story highlights these 3 parts, which completes the entire story. Let's know about the author, Tishani Doshi. Tishani Doshi is a poet, writer and dancer who was born in Chennai, India. She is a freelance journalist and her works appeared in newspaper and journals such as The Guardian, The National and The Hindu. Tishani Doshi is widely acclaimed as a creative writer. Her honors and awards includes an Eric Grigori Award and All India Poetry Prize. Let's move on to the introduction. This lesson is an account of the author during her journey to the end of the earth, Antarctica, under Students on Ice program headed by a Canadian, Geoff Green. Students on Ice is a program which takes young minds to different ends of the world. Thus, it gives an insight into how Antarctica is a place you should visit to have a glimpse of the past, present, and the future in its realistic form. Children, please go through the words and its meanings given in the next 2 slides. Now, let's see the lesson in detail. In the beginning of the lesson, the author talks about her journey to one of the coldest, driest and windiest continent on earth is Antarctica. She reached there on a Russian research vessel known as the Akademik Chukalski. Tishani began her journey from Madras. The present name of Madras is Chennai. So, she began from Madras, crossed 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 water bodies, and just as many ecospheres. So it was a long journey for Tishani to reach Antarctica. A small information about the Russian research vessel Akademik Chukalski. Akademik Chukalski is an ice-strengthened ship built in Finland in 1982 and originally used for oceanographic research. In 1998, she was fully refurbished to serve as a research ship for Arctic and Antarctic work. She is also used for expedition cruising. She is named after the Russian oceanographer Yuri Chukalski. Moving on to the second paragraph. Tishani took about 100 hours of combined traveling by car, aeroplane and then a ship to reach the continent. So, when she first set her feet on the continent, she felt utmost relief, for it was all white as far as the eyes could see. The sight of the blue horizon was also very comforting. She was astonished by the fact that there was once a time when India and Antarctica were geographically connected. The history behind Antarctica. Millions of years ago, there was a supercontinent known as Gondwana, from which Antarctica and India are supposed to have been parted off. The situation, however, was completely different from how it is right now. There were no humans and the climate was warmer, which gave rise to huge varieties of flora and fauna. Gondwana flourished for 500 million years until dinosaurs got extinct and human beings came into existence. Then, the huge continent was forced into segregation to form countries and the world as we know of it today.
150 million years ago, the supercontinent Gondwana began to split apart and the triangular landmass that is now modern India broke away. This Indian plate drifted northwards over a volcanic hotspot. Boiling magma pushed up into the Earth's crust and heated the land. The edge of the Indian plateau morphed and faltered into a crumpled line of mountains. By the time India bumped into mainland Asia and began pushing up the Himalayas, the Western Ghats were long established and already home to a wealth of wildlife.
According to the author, if one wants to have a glimpse of history and our future, Antarctica is the right place. It is the best place to research and understand about mountain ranges and low elevation continents, ozone and carbon, evolution and extinction. It is capable of giving an insight to the future that can be really startling. It was a very different experience for the author as being a South Indian sun worshipping person. It was hard for her or anyone else to imagine living in a place where 90% of the Earth's total ice volumes are stored. A place untouched by humans and their inventions. It gives an experience that makes you forget about all the other things. And she mentions that it is just like walking into the giant ping pong ball devoid of any human markers like trees, billboards or buildings, and actually it was just like losing all earthly sense perspective and time when she was there. Though she could not find any sign of human development, she had an incredible experience there. From small creatures like midges and mites to huge creatures like blue whales and icebergs, as big as countries, everything can be found in Antarctica. Here, the term midges and mites means small type of insects. Days are never ending with the sunlight all the time falling on the southern hemisphere. It is such a quiet place, interrupted only by occasional avalanche. It is a setting that forces you to ponder upon Earth's geological history and helps you foresee future, which for humans doesn't seem very pleasant. Here, the author mentions that the extreme sort of brightness and pervading peace is in Antarctica. So this situation that she experienced in Antarctica was quite contrast to the experience which she had in her homeland. So the author Tishani is asking us, the human beings, to ponder over the geological history and then predict what would be waiting for us in future, which definitely will not be very pleasant. Children, please go through the words and its meanings for the better understanding of the lesson. The second part of the lesson begins with human impact on Earth. Human life on Earth has been around for barely a few seconds on the geological clock. In merely this less time, humans have managed to exploit each and every resource, thereby creating a chaos in the nature. The ever increasing human population is robbing other species of the necessities for survival. The unlimited exploitation of fossil fuels have created a blanket of carbon dioxide around our planet, which is further increasing the average global temperature, thus leading to global warming. So, all these topics we have been continuously talking almost every day. Climate change. Global warming and change are in great concern these days. Questions like melting of Antarctic sheet, disruption of Gulf Stream ocean, and how the world will end still remains unanswered. Regardless, Antarctica remains an important part not only because it is untouched by humans. Ice cores, 500,000-year-old carbon records got trapped in its layer of ice. That's why Tishani Doshi, the author, mentions if one wishes to study and analyze Earth's past, present, and future, Antarctica is the best place to visit. Now, children, let's discuss about Students on Ice program. The author Tishani Doshi has been in Antarctica on an expedition with Students on Ice. The program started with the vision of providing life-changing experiences to the future generation of policymakers to learn about the planet at a very early age. So, who are the policymakers? Yes, it is of course the high school students, including you people. The initiative was introduced by Geoff Green. Geoff Green is a Canadian educator, the founder, the executive director of Students on Ice. He is also a social entrepreneur and adventurer. He made his first expedition to the Arctic and Antarctic in 1994. Actually, Geoff Green was profoundly inspired by these cornerstones of all global ecosystem, and he has seen led more than 120 expeditions to the polar regions as well as dozens of journeys to the most inward corners of the planet. So, in appreciation for his contribution to the world, the globe and main called Geoff the man who revolutionized polar and environmental education. So, children, you just watch the video given here and then listen to the words of Geoff Green.
My first trip down here to the Antarctic was just over 20 years ago. I had accidentally gone to the Arctic, you could say, and then they figured I must know something about the Antarctic if I'd been to the Arctic. And it was a case of right place, right time, bit of good luck and good karma and opportunity. And then along came later on this chance to merge my two passions, which were education and expeditions and adventuring, and Students on Ice was effectively born thanks to so many partners and people that helped to get it off the ground and keep it going for so long. When we first started Students on Ice 15 years ago, we're mostly focused on environmental issues.
Hope the words of Geoff Green has been thought-provoking. Now let's talk about the success of the program Students on Ice. The program has been immensely successful in implementing its vision. People gets affected by seeing the real scenario. You know that your seeing is believing. It is very easy to sit at home and talk about the real issues. It is only when we come to the reality, when we see something in front of the eyes, we believe things. Actually, seeing glaciers retreating and ice shelves collapsing give you a glimpse into the future. It tells you that the very threat of global warming is real. Antarctica is one of those places with a limited biodiversity and thus has endless complicated ecosystem. This happens because little changes in its environment can have drastic effects. For instance, the microscopic phytoplankton or grasses of the sea that sustains the entire Southern Ocean's food chain. Now, it has been recently concluded by scientists that a further depletion in the ozone layer can affect the activities of these single-celled plants and affect the marine life altogether. Thus, in this case, sayings comes true: take care of the small things and the big things will fall into its place. Walk on the ocean. The author concludes by writing about her experience of walking on the frozen surface of ocean with 180 meters of living and breathing salt water, a rich kaleidoscope of life underneath. Before their return, the writer got an opportunity to walk on the ocean at 65.55 degrees south. All the 52 persons on board put on breathable waterproof clothing and sunglasses. They climbed down the gangplank and walked on the ocean. In the periphery, they could see crab-eater seals which were stretching and sunning themselves on ice floes, much like stray dogs usually do under the shade of the banyan tree. Let's move on to the final part of the lesson. A revelation. The author pondered upon the capability of nature to maintain its balance. She wondered what it would be like if Antarctica, the place that houses over 90% of world's ice, becomes warm again, whether we exist to see it if it ever happens. Thus, by seeing the spirit of teenagers who are still left with the courage to save the world, she talks about the uncertainty of events that can happen over 1 million of years. Dear children, this chapter is really an eye-opener. Remember, please take care of the small things and the big things will fall into its place. Hope you all would have understood the topic very clearly. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.